the sympathetic link. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same as calling the phone number. Gonna get an answer. Okay, now, once you establish the sympathetic link, if the person on the other end of the link is receptive to your communication, y'all have now opened up a two-way sympathetic link. It's a channel coming through the heart chakra. Okay, now you are going to turn on either your visual senses to see imagery if you learn visually, but you learn by hearing the words best.
Right.
So you can read it, but you won't get it as clear as if somebody read it too. So your audio senses is the means by which you will engage the person on the other end of the sympathetic link, because that's your learning style. It's called clairaudience, clear sound, clear hearing. The, once you establish the link, the ones that's called the gods, and the person you talking about was one of the gods. So it's the same way they got you praying, asking an invisible sky daddy, but actually you making the link to a real, genuine earth god.
Right. So even if they on the other side or not, I would still be able to do
You will
that.
still be able to
Okay.
establish the link. Now, by that being an extraction, the link is not it's a telepathic link, and it's direct connection or communication. Now I'm gonna tell you something that happened to me, because he hovering around right now. Triple X.
Yeah, and listen, it was he told me one other thing, right? I'm here to be real light about it. Something is going to come out about my beloved because I love her to death. The one he loved too. He said something is going to come out about her, but do not be mad because she didn't have a choice. So he told me that too, and that's as far as I want to go on here. But I and this one other question. I'm not going to take up that much of your time. Um, I'm a Leo and he's a Leo. Do you think that's why it was so easy for him to keep coming through to me?
It's the love frequency.
Okay.
The zodiac energy allows you to be siblings in spirit. So the zodiac symbol of the Leo is the lion.
Right.
So you look at it like a neighboring pride that's related to you, and you can communicate on the same frequency. All of the lions or Leos understand Leos when they click up. Okay, now, once you establish that genuine, so your heart got to be pure in order for it to even work. So this say a lot about the character and the person of who you are,
Right.
right? So
Thank
it
you.
tell us that you one of what they call the earth angels. They used to be called oracles of Delphi, daughters of Isis. You are a
Yeah.
blood
So
heir to a portion of the inheritance of the earthborn.
Inanna, well, Isis, Inanna, Ishtar, but when she come through to me, she come through to me as Inanna. So
That's my mom.
yeah, she come through to me as Inanna.
Inanna is a title. Isis is a title. Ishtar, Osset, those are titles, not names. Many people have held the title, but the original always incarnate in the person that hold the title. It worked like ceremonial guard. The person performing the ceremony is required to wear this particular outfit.
Okay.
And the telepathic link, right? And you hear me say a lot of time women like Tesla coils. The telepathic link of the earthborn, y'all are connected. Once you get the answer that was concealed from you and you meditate upon the answer, you begin to give the answer to all of the sisters under the same frequency hive mind.
Okay.
And so that's why the saying is, if you heal one, you heal 1,000. But the healing is in the awakening of the power of the self of the divine feminine. When you be in your genuine article self, you open up the frequency of the genuine article universe, the frequency to come through you. This
Okay.
is what they call moving yourself into the mind of God. You thinking like God now, you're not thinking like a mortal,
Right.
which allows you to see all of the devices that was put in to ensnare us, to divide and conquer, the blood rituals and the blood magic, the conjure, the sorcery, and you begin to try to find the sisters who was the original victims, which is your sisters in spirit, the 12
All right.
daughters of Isis.
All right. So it's damn. I said I was saying one more thing. All right. You gotta go, or you got time, or you need
I'm here for about an hour and a half.
your next person. I don't want to be greedy, but it's all right. One more thing. So Orion, right? What do you remember the connection from Orion and Ceres? Because what, and I know this about to sound crazy, but you know what? I'm gonna say it anyway. What I remember is I remember women, us being on Orion. I remember men being on Ceres, and we merged. And I remember it was five flames, and I remember stepping out the third one. Do you know anything about what I'm saying? Because I know it sounds crazy. All
The
right,
golden
so all
ones,
right,
the original golden ones from the Orion constellation. And the Syrians are the original people from the dog star. They called the Domo in um, Nomo and man, I'm catching brain lock. The Dogon refer to him as the Nomo. When they came here, they were from a different genome. The Earth genome had to be calibrated to the Earth. The mitochondrial right was given to the mothers. Mitochondrial right is also what we call Earth right because the mitochondria in the woman that she passed to her daughters comes from the soil of the earth. It's got a different name as a microorganism in the soil, but its function is the same to provide energy to the soil. That same way it provides energy to your cells. This is your link to Prime Creator. In the light that the reflective rays of Orion and the reflective rays of the Sirius constellation reaches the earth and affects the people who are descendants that come from those areas. The original golden ones was neuter gender, and they didn't replicate through sexual organs. They replicated by separating themselves.
at the fifth dimension.
Mitosis, I think
I
is what
rem-
it's called.
I know that's going to sound crazy. I was like at the fifth dimension. I
Yeah,
feel like it happened at the fifth
because
dimension where we got
they in the
separated.
fifth dimension, you have control of your light body, not just your physical body. What we doing right now, we're having these sessions and explaining to the people who we are. We also are activating the light body of all of the children as they coming in for the new age. The
Okay.
more mothers, I'm not worried about. I already did my work with the brothers. 16 years of penitentiary, sending guys home to become millionaires, and they want to take care of me like I'm their child. I'm not your child. You know, I want you to use your resources to take care of your family because when I get out, I know how to get it from the dirt.
Right.
All right. So when they come to me to help them refine and write business plans and college applications and essays for college programs, I didn't charge them nothing. Now it's my turn to tell y'all how to turn on your power as the divine feminine so that heaven can be returned back to earth. I'm sick of this patriarchal BS,
Yeah, it is crazy. It's wild.
right? So the only way to win is to turn your war story of patriarchy into a love story under the matriarchy. The matriarchy is founded on the first known principle of the universe, and that's the love. That's taught by Larry Hoover,
All
right?
right.
It's the universal principle of love is taught by Malachi is the Hua, right? But you got to remember the Hu is the authoritative utterance,
Hmm.
right? But Hua is the universal love energy. So it's the utterance of the universal love energy that comes in the genuine voice of the genuine article telling the truth to the righteous people to affect them in a righteous manner to make them rise from their slumber. It's the talking to the valley of the dry bones to form the military, the army, the defensive forces. You don't have to fight the war. You just have to rise above the war. They want to keep pulling us in with other people's protests. We already did that.
Yeah, we
It
can't
didn't
go
work.
back to that.
We did it and it didn't work. Why would we want to go do that again?
We definitely can't.
And
But
they
I
told
feel
us
I
that
feel like did you ever watch the 100s?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, I feel like we at the point of that where we supposed to know better than to fight the war. It's the same way like we supposed to know better than to choose the right wing or the left wing. It's the same plane for real. So when you I feel like we supposed to be at a point where we're supposed to know better. I mean, me personally, but I feel like a lot of people get so wrapped up in it and they take it personal, like really really personal. Like they'll stop speaking to people they know over two people on television that they don't know. So I feel like we supposed to be further than that. But thank you. I'm gonna let you go,
All right.
and I'm gonna watch on though, but I'm gonna get off of here so somebody else can ask their stuff.
Okay, there's
Cause
two more people waiting, so I'm gonna let one of them come up because I really didn't have nothing to talk about. So you just
yeah, you
gave
something
me.
to talk about. I'm about to see what they talking about next. All right.
Okay, sweetie. Gianna Biggs, what's up, sweetie? Let's get it in. They say it's another game.
Yo,
Oh,
how you
what's
doing?
going on, broski?
This is wild. I didn't know he was gonna pick me. I just this is wild.
What's on your
This is
mind?
uh I'm just here at the moment. I mean I just express myself right now. I'm just learning how to stay on the righteous path and alchemize the chaos around me, being a pillar. Um it's it's taxing, it's a heavy weight to carry, but this is just where I've been led in this position I play now. That's on my mind, but I seen that you were about to say something about XXX. I don't know if what you're
Yeah,
about to say, but
what you want me to tell you the story?
yeah.
So I got a video on my Ride Hayes, and I was channeled message from XX Tentacion.
Hmm.
He was getting on my nerves because he kept calling me bro. But I didn't know that was to trigger, because when I started complaining about it, I triggered his tribe. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but once I triggered his tribe, I understood it. But he kept saying, bro, I'm not dead. I'm woke. I'm walking around like everybody else. I'm not dead.
Hmm.
Right? And he was going over Empire Records, telling me about the CEO and the contracts that they was putting in the prices. They was putting contracts on their head. for insurance money, right? Because when they were signing their independent record deals for distribution, everybody that signed to Empire, the CEO took out a massive insurance policy. It's called a dead celebrity policy. You ever hear dead celebrity status?
No.
Okay, so dead celebrity status is when the industry decide that the celebrity is worth more dead than alive. His
Gotcha. So
legacy,
Nipsey Hussle.
like Tupac. Tupac sold more records after they said he was dead than he did when he was alive. He became a legend, legendary status, which to the industry equates to money. It's
Right.
part of your 360 deal, but if you don't go through with the ritual to penetrate you and give up your manhood, they kill you off. They try to kill you for real, right? But we have somebody in place that's looking for the contracts on your life so that they could use the entertainment industry in order to get a message to the tribes. This is why they was blocking us out of Hollywood. And they was blocking us from controlling our own musical destiny because we was using the music to communicate all over the land. Yes, I love music, that good soul music, just as long as it's grooving, right? So we love music. Dope is the heart link. Well, I was telling the sister earlier about the heart to heart connection of two genuine articles telling the truth, reaching out for each other, right? It's the music is a way to strike the heart chakra, right? So when you hear certain people sing, if they tell, like for instance, the song from Phyllis Hyman, "Gonna Make Changes," she got a whole message in the song, but a lot of us will miss the message if we don't have a genuine love for her as an artist. But if you love her as an artist, it's going to tie you into your heartstring. You're going to establish a sympathetic link. And then when you listen to it, she said, going to make changes, going to make minds aware, move with the masses, making changes everywhere, right? She's going to make changes. But these changes, according to the song, was predicated upon her first changing herself in order to get the masses to be aware of the effort she's putting in to make changes.
Right.
Right. So at the end, she self-sacrificed. The self-sacrifice is to bring the ultimate attention. Then you're going to look at who is she trying to expose? Who was over her career? First person you look at. It's the same way the police say the first person you look at in the murder is the spouse. The first person you look at in the music industry is who's in charge of their career. That's the spouse equivalent.
Right.
In the case of Phyllis Hyman, it was a guy named Clive Davis. Now, if she want our attention on Clive, it will be some other people under Clive that have some funny events happening around their life, like Whitney Houston and Bobby Christina, right? Like Angela Bofield, like Luther Vandross,
Right. That's what I was just thinking of.
right? So everybody that Clive touched, you could tell the tree by the fruit it bear. He trained Diddy, and his name never came up. Let that
So
sink in.
sorry to interrupt.
Everybody knows he trained Diddy. Diddy had three handlers. The first one was Andre Harrell. He couldn't handle him, so he got rid of him and gave him to Clive. Clive, in turn, helped him set up Bad Boy Records and tied him into distribution. right? Now, he got another handler. His other handler go by the name of Russell Simmons. But when the heat started coming down, when he seen Tupac, he got out of Dodge because he understood from the culture who Tupac was and that he came to expose all of the corruption, right? And he needed a lot of people involved with him exposing the corruption. He needed people to try to be independent and successful so we can see the industry trying to shut him down. So he recruited a team, and Biggie was his lieutenant, right? The East Coast West Coast beef was it was a CIA
Psyop.
media operation, and so we used it to our advantage. We knew what they was doing, so we reenact the historical event that the tribes do. When you getting this public tongue lashing from a chief that's correcting the chief that was in error, you just remain silent because you know you was wrong. Biggie Chief Sitting Bull, the only person that can discipline him in the ranks of spirituality is Tupac Amaru, that was on the scene at the time. So how do you discipline him? You give him a public flogging. You tear his ass up in the public domain, but his non-response is the critical part that we need. His lack of response becomes critical because now we know he have the skill set to retaliate in verbal fashion from the songs that he already got out, but he don't really respond. Why he say he didn't respond? He said he wasn't entertaining they media bullshit. That's what he said.
Hmm.
Now, if he was Tupac lieutenant, like Tupac said, if any validity to what Tupac said, that means the lieutenant not gonna turn on the general, but the lieutenant will play a role in order for the general's plan to be carried out successfully. All right, Biggie in Jamaica. Heard the rumor I was dead on the street. Bullshit, nigga, I'm getting head on the beach.
Hmm.
So they
So
tell you they leave clues.